What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel Mystic Watch, and today we're doing another analysis video. So we're going over Onuki Tsuchikage. Between a rock and a hard place is his tag, and this will be the second character that is in the Sasuke, Susanoo Sasuke banner. So it's Susanoo, Sasuke, and Onuki. I already did my analysis on that Sasuke. If you guys would like to check that out, be sure to go check out that video. But starting off, let's just jump right into it. So Onuki is why won't it go away? Okay, his cost is 60, his HP is 1618, attack is 1208, type is skill, and his range is mid. So just talking about briefly for the first part, he has good HP, low attack. With the mid range, your goal is to be around, I believe, 1500. Attack is like a solid place to be at as a mid range. If you are above 1500 attack, it's a good character in a sense, or that is a good stat to have. His field skill is reduced damage taken by 15 to 20%. Buddy skill is reduced damage taken by 20%. This one of the best field skills in the game. I think this is like the best field skill to have behind healing, like buddy heals and field heals. It is never going to be out of place, and since he has a mid range, he'll be affecting a decent range of people when he's out on the field. And buddy skill, whenever he's in the back, it's always active. Jutsu is 5 chakra, 7 times attack to one enemy and knocks them back. Ultimate is 10 chakra, 14 times attack AoE, and it removes the attack buff. So that second part removes attack buff. What it seems like is, because we don't have the proper English translation, because it's not out in global yet, but simply if the enemy was to use any sort of attack boost, Onuki could get rid of it, which is really cool, but unfortunately has no purpose right now unless they start implementing this in the future. So maybe I'm forgetting someone, but I personally can't remember anyone who uses an attack buff. So if that comes into play, then yeah, that's amazing. Regardless, it is a 10, just disregarding that part completely, it is a 10 chakra, 14 times attack AoE. So that is definitely not bad. So his jutsus are standard. The first one is a high damage single target jutsu. The second one is a medium damage, I'd say, AoE jutsu in terms of an ultimate scale. So let's take a look at the next slide. We're going to go over the dupe abilities this time around. This one, his dupe abilities are all useful. I was talking about Sasuke's dupe abilities not being useful. So because he has things like chakra restore when moving across map, which is, some people still don't understand the concept. They're like, oh, it's such a great ability, it makes me stall less. That's like a you problem, you know what I mean? It has nothing to do with the ability being good or bad. Well, if you don't want to spend an extra 10-15 seconds of your life generating 2 chakra, it doesn't mean that the ability is good, it just means it saved you time. If you can do what the ability does by spending an extra 10 seconds of your life, it's not a good ability. These abilities over here, you physically cannot attain them without getting these abilities. It's not like I can boost my health by 200 by beating an enemy or using a jutsu. Alright, I have to get the dupe ability to actually get that thing. So either way, he has 3 reduced damage taken and then 2 boost HP by 200. So in total, if you manage to get all abilities, he'd be at 30 cost. He'd be sitting at 2000 HP with 15% damage reduction on himself, and then he'd have all of his damage reduction all over the place, for between his field and buddy skill. So he's one tanky fellow when it comes to that. Would I use a stone on him? Absolutely not. He is definitely not worth it using a stone, but having a lot of dupes of him is definitely not bad whatsoever. So if he had, let's say those 2 HPs were actually both of them were boost attack by 200, this guy would be a monster. No doubt about it. And the ordering is unfortunate. Like, let's say he'd have to have the boost attack by 200 as the first two abilities, and that'd make him really good, because you'd want to unlock those first before you unlock the other stuff. But either way, when it comes to abilities, every single one is definitely useful. He's like a, if you guys remember, Wisdom Shikakugara. You know, all of his abilities are reduced damage by 5%, so he reduces damage by 25% overall. This is like the skill version. Instead, he's got some HP thrown in there. So, moving on, we have the damage calculations. So here I'll be talking about, you know, the damage and how much damage he does. So starting off, I'd like to always point out that the numbers that I use, the 7 is his normal jutsu multiplier, and then you have the 1208 is his attack, and the extra 100 is from pills, because each character, each 6-star in this game can attain an extra 100 attack from pills, and it does make a difference when taking into account multipliers, because someone with a high multiplier will get a lot more benefit from 100 attack than someone with a really low multiplier, and it should distinguish who goes where. So his normal jutsu ends up being 9,156 attack after pills and everything, and then if he's against a body unit, it will be 14,146 attack. That is actually incorrect, and those numbers are from, it ended up reverting back, so I apologize about that. Let me redo that, because I caught that really quickly. His actual attack against body units would be 13,734. So I apologize for that typo. And if you guys don't know, the multiplier for, against a strong element, it is 1.5. So you do an extra 50% damage to an element that you're strong against. And then his ultimate jutsu is 14 times 1308, and that is 18,312. It has literally just doubled his normal jutsu. And against body, it is 27,468, so that is the 1.5 multiplier. In terms of how good it is, so the only difference between normal and ultimate jutsu is that one is, the ultimate is AoE, and it has that remove attack buff. But until that is useful, there's really no difference. Like if you're versing a single enemy, you can just normal twice, because it gives you you're giving yourself an extra chance to crit. But if you're against a mob of enemies, the ultimate is the way to go. But in terms of the damage per chakra, which is something that I am including from now on, they literally are the same exact damage per chakra, because you go from a 7 multiplier to a 14 multiplier, and then you're going from 5 chakra to a 10 chakra. So, like, both things double equally. Most characters will have a higher ultimate multiplier than their, like, normal jutsu, in terms of, like, twice the chakra. I don't know how to explain it. Like, if 7 times multiplier is for 5 chakra, then, like, Onuki's is literally double that, which is 14 for 10 chakra, but most people have it so that the ultimate jutsu will be a lot more damaging than that. So it's like the damage per chakra won't really be the exact same. The ultimate jutsu tends to be a higher damage per chakra than the normal jutsu, because it's an ultimate jutsu, it's not just a normal jutsu twice. So unfortunately, his ultimate multiplier, the fact that it's 14 is really high, but that doesn't mean anything because he has a low attack, and that's what I also try to explain in my Sasuke video, where a lot of people are like, oh, he's got a 20 times multiplier, the highest multiplier in the game, he must be busted. Well, 14 times multiplier is higher than like 99% of the characters in the game. It doesn't mean it's good. It goes based on the amount of attack you have. If I have for example, that Susanoo Sasuke does 30,000 damage, give or take, on his ultimate jutsu to a single target, right, with a 20 times multiplier. If I had a unit, like let's say I had like a 1-star unit who had 100 attack, and I gave him a 300 times multiplier, it's still only 30,000 damage. So I gotta keep in mind that the multiplier alone doesn't mean anything. It has to, you know, coincide with the proper attack amount. So in terms of damage per chakra, you gotta take into account that his normal jutsu damage per chakra is higher than average, because a 7 times multiplier for a normal jutsu is high. His ultimate jutsu is weaker on average, so he's got like a little give and take. But his ultimate jutsu is AoE, so there is that. And I'm gonna start. I lost my page of the damage per chakra units that I had from last time, so I have to go back and redo every character's damage per chakra, unfortunately, so I can compare it to other people. But just from the top of my head, his normal jutsu is higher than average, his ultimate jutsu is lower than average. Ultimate jutsus tend to be in the 2000 range. You know, if it breaks 2000, it's really good, or it's pretty good. And then the normal jutsus tend to stay between closer to the 1500 range, or like 1000 to 1500 is the average like normal jutsu like damage per chakra, and then the average ultimate jutsu is like I'd say around 2000. Right, and it's different for each. There's always going to be characters that are higher or lower. The Blazing Fest characters on average have higher of both. For example, like Madara has like 2000 normal or something like that, and then ultimate jutsu is like 2600. So just keep that in mind. And then any final thoughts on him? Something that I'm also going to be trying to go over are like the pros and cons. His cons is that he could have had the same exact jutsus for 4 and 8 chakra, and it would have made him extremely good, right? Well, this isn't bad by any means. 5 and 10 is not a bad, you know, spot. His biggest con is simply that he has low attack, and that seems to be the real issue here. He just has low attack, right? That's nothing else, and he doesn't provide utility outside of the remove attack buff. But the pros are, he's like, if you have him on a skill only team, it's amazing simply because you got the reduced damage field buddy skill, you got the reduced damage field skill. If you get any of his dupes, you reduce damage there. So he's tanking left and right, and he does damage, right? Like I said, his normal jutsu is higher on average. So if you're using him as a single target damage dealer, he'll be extremely good. And you never know where that ultimate jutsu might come in handy, like where we'll get that attack reduction needed somewhere. So that really it for Onoki. I think he's a little underrated. He's definitely good. The only issues would be, who would he replace? Like limit broken units, he's not gonna replace, right? But if you happen to not limit break, he'd be better than, like, I believe he has higher damage per chakra than Sasori before limit break. So let's say you just happen to not limit break him, you could toss Onoki in there. So things like that, right? But he's not gonna out damage like Utakata being Blazing Fest and everything. So, but he definitely has a spot on his skill team. So there you go, that's my analysis. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.